Hi everyone, my name is JT Pilot and today we'll be making another video. This time we'll be going over the latest 100 news for March/April 2024 for 100 scale diecast model aircraft. And it's been a really busy time in the 100 scale. We've seen lots of exciting brand new releases, especially in the month of April, and lots of mold announcements, which we'll be covering towards the end of this video. So yes, this is going to be a pretty lengthy video, so let's get started off with our very first set in this release, which is the NG April 2024 release set, which they've just announced. So this is a pretty good NG release set. The NG release sets are starting to get better this year, which is a good sign because it's a year of classics. So hopefully the sets will be getting a little bit more interesting coming towards the summer months, and they probably will be according to some of the new molds they'll be bringing out, which we'll be covering at the end of the video. So yeah, NG's April 2024 release set. It's a pretty nice set in my opinion. There's a few models will be getting. I'll be pre-ordering 4 of them, so that's exciting. But there's some re-releases in the set, and a lot of the future releases were released as well, so that kind of gets rid of the fun just a little bit. But this first slide will be covering some of the new releases that have not been announced as future releases. So starting with the first aircraft, this is the Air India Everest 850-100 with the Ultimate Collection configuration by NG models, which Ultimate Collection line by NG basically means that these models will come with a stand and a special box. So if you guys are wondering about that, I'll be reviewing this model. So there you go. Stay tuned for the review for the Air India. So that's gonna be pretty good release by NG models. But even though other manufacturers have done this model, including AB400, Phoenix, and I believe JC and Gemini jets. So actually not JC. I do believe Gemini has announced this model as a future release. So yes, this is a pretty nice release. So there you go. And there's also this normal Air India 850 if you don't want the Ultimate Collection one. And then the United Triple Centers Junior Year and Star Alliance livery. That's a meh release. It's another one of these United Star Alliance Triple Centers Juniors. This is their third one by NG. So there you go. Yeah, that's an okay release. Even the engines are different on it, but that's a main different. So there you go. And then NG will also be releasing a United Simplified Centers 300 in the Evo Blue livery. So this is an exciting NG release there. And yeah, I'll be definitely have already pre-ordered that one, so that's gonna be a great release, and it will be replaced by Gemini version. It's always great to have the flying pencil, and this is a new NG mold, so can't wait to review for you guys. Be a great asset for my Jacksonville Fictional airport dates and my potential random airports I'll be doing in the future. So that's gonna be a great model for the collection. But the Delta A319 release it's just okay. It's another Delta A319 release. NG's already done one in Plus Gemini. It's on the exact same registration, so that's a meh release in my opinion. No, don't know why NG has to do another one, but there you go. I'd rather see a Frontier A320 or an American A320 or a United A320, but that's okay. Then the Air New 7709, another re-release. Same gripes about this model. And then the FES 7709 is a great NG release for my European friends and my Middle Eastern friends. So there you go. That's good. These models right here are gonna be great releases. And then proceeding on to the future releases from the NG April set. So these models have already been announced as future releases in a couple months ago, which I've already covered, but now they're being formally released. That's a little confusing there. But so here's some of the highlights. So you got the Cubana 2 Plus. That's gonna be a decent release there. The colorful Jinzhou Airlines A320. Lots of other Chinese models as well, but I'm not including them in this video just because mainly my audience is English-speaking individuals and some Spanish-speaking individuals and some other languages as well. So I want to really address my videos towards my audience. So there you go. So then they're also releasing a Saudi S78-10, the Red Sea sticker livery, the British Airways Better World livery A320 Neo. So that's going to be a great release for my British collectors there and some of my European collectors. And then the main highlights in this, in my opinion, are the JetBlue. So they'll be releasing the JetBlue A320 in the Spotlight livery and the JetBlue A321 in the Balloons livery. So these are going to be great models here, and I can't wait to review them for you guys, and they'll be great models to my JetBlue collection. So there you go. And then the final models from the NG April releases that I'm going to be covering in this video is the Condor Simplified Centers 300. These are going to be great releases for the European collectors, and I may have to get one of these in the future. And plus, these are on the new Simplified Centers 300 mold. Proceeding on to the Gemini Jets April set. So this is another solid Gemini Jets release from this year. So yes, I'll begin the United Sunfire Max 9 Evil Blue livery, and the Delta Sunfire 200. So, yeah, so the Alaska E-175 in University of Washington livery is another nice Alaska special. It's great to see Maury's University E-175s from Gemini Jets, so there you go. And then the United Sunfire Max 9 Evil Blue livery is the main highlight in this set. This has been a long-awaited model for my United States collectors. United Safari Max and Evil Believer has only been done once before in 1/400 by Aeroclasics, and that was a fancy release because they had the incorrect registration on it, so there you go. The registration Aeroclasics did was wearing the Continental Globe livery, so if you're really picky about that, get the Gemini Disc version. Plus, the Gemini Disc version is going to be way better than the Aeroclasics one, just because it has aerials and molds better. And yes, an Aeroclasics Safari Max 9 is one of their weakest molds, so... Yes, can't wait to get this United Sunfire Max 9. The United flies these everywhere across the United States, so this is going to be a great model for my airports. And then the Delta Survive 7 Junior, same story. Yes, I do have the NG version of the Delta Survive 7 Junior with winglets, but I do not have a wingletless one yet, so I will have to get this version. Plus, this is a Gen 2 configuration one, which I don't have as well, so that'll be another great model for the collection. And then the Air France Hop E190 is another great release, so just ignore what I wrote on there, because it's not an E195. That was a mistake on my part. Then the Air India Express, the first Finish Max 8, is a fantastic release for my Indian collectors, so there you go. And I believe this model has not been done in 1/400 yet, so that's a really beautiful livery as well. And then the American A321 is tuned in the Allegheny livery is another solid release. Last two American Heritage A321s by Jonah just turned out pretty well, so... There you go. I may have to get one of these for one of the American A321 Heritage liveries for review and to add some diversity to the airport update. So we'll have to see. And then Gemini just has announced a pretty solid future release set a few weeks ago as well. So they have announced a Reno Air McDonnell Douglas MD-90s. May have to get that one. I don't have an MD-90 in my collection, so that's going to be a great release, but the main feature release highlight is the Delta MD-88 in the Delta flat livery. What a beautiful aircraft here, and I may have to go for it, but a certain manufacturer is about to make an MD-80 mold, so I may wait on them to release this aircraft, but this is still a solid release there. Then the Qantas Link Airbus A220-300 in the MKT livery is another solid release by Gemini Jets, and a lot of my Australian collectors will be looking forward to this model. Then the Lufthansa Cargo A321 P2F is also announced, as well as the Turkey Air Force A400M. Proceeding on to the Aeroclasics March 2024 release set. So it's a pretty small set, and I did pre-order two of these, which are the Frontier F21 Neos, which I've already reviewed on my YouTube channel if you're interested. And this one's turned out fairly decent, and it's a big novelty aircraft, as these are the first Frontier F21 Neos ever released in 1/400. So yes, those are really solid models in my opinion, and they'll be great workhorses for the collection until NG does them. So yeah. And the rest of the March set, it's a pretty small set. Not much else to really say about it. But the Lufthansa 747 is a nice touch. Moving on to the Phoenix May 2024 release set, which was announced in April. So this is a pretty solid Phoenix set. Phoenix have been doing a really good job in the year 2024. They've been announcing lots of exciting models. So yes, so they announced the Air Serbia A330s. So those are going to be great releases there. So those are some highlights there. They've announced a trio of Delta Airbus A330s and A350s in the Team USA livery. So you have the A330 in the Team USA livery, the Delta A350 in the Team USA livery, and the Delta A350 in the LA28 livery. So these are going to be decent models, but not as good as some other versions that every manufacturer will be releasing, which I'll talk about later on in this video. And the rest of the release set, some other highlights. You got the Vietnam 767s, and you got the KLM MD-11s, which all these models have been highly requested. And yes, and there's some repetition in this release. I like to tie A350, but other than that, it's a pretty solid release set. And JC Wings has announced their April set, so it's a decent set here. Yes, but if you're wondering about their May set, you'll have to stay tuned for the next news video. But JC Wings has announced a Korean 77-9, so I may go for that model. We'll have to see. I've been wanting a Korean 77-9 for my collection, so may have to get that model. And other than that, this release set's pretty mediocre. You do have the Asiana 74-400. That's going to be a good release for my Asian collectors out there. But that is a future release, though, so you may not see it for a few years. But And Ecopa Sunforce and Max 9 is another good release there. I have heard a lot of good feedback about that, but the rest of this release, it's a pretty okay release set. Not much else to really say about it. And moving on to the Aviation 400 releases. So they have announced several brand new models, and I have kind of divided up a little bit. They have made a few batches of announcements. So they have announced, earlier in April, they have announced some special A380s. So these are all in the ANA Flying Hanu livery. So you have the blue livery, the orange livery, and the teal livery. So these are going to be great. These are going to be great releases here, and these are the best A380. This is arguably the best A380 mold in the 1/400 scale. So yes, I know JC and Phoenix have done these before, but the Aviation 400 versions will beat those. Yeah, will beat those out. Will outperform those pretty well. So yes, I may have to get one of these for review, but these models aren't going to be really used too much in my collection, as these aircraft only fly to Honolulu and Tokyo, which aren't any of my airports. So probably won't be getting those, but these are still great releases. And then Aviation 400 the other day have announced their April releases. So I kind of divided up based on pictures. So all the models, most of the models in this release that do not have CGI images or any formal image. They just have real life photos. So we're just going to have to stick some text wording for those. But these three models do have real life. I mean, they do have model photos, which are the trio 787-9s. So Aviation 400 has announced a KLM 787-9, an Air France 787-9, and an Air New Zealand 787-9. So these models look flat and amazing, and they should hopefully be arriving soon, as they already have images. They already have manufacturer images. So hopefully these will be arriving with some of their previous 787s they have announced, like the Virgin Atlantic 787-9 and the United Eva Blue 787-9, which I will be ordering. And I'll likely be ordering the KLM and Air France 787-9s, as these are well-needed models for my random airport updates I plan on doing, and my Jacksonville Fictional airport. So those are going to be great releases there, and definitely be some models I'll have to order. Yeah, and Aviation 400 is really making it expensive to collect 100 because they announced some of the best wide bodies. And yes, they're the go-to manufacturer if you're needing some wide bodies in your collection. So they outperform everybody else on most of their molds. Some of their molds are a little bit weaker, but yeah. And here's some other models from the Aviation 400 April set. So they have announced a few A330 Neos. They have announced a Cebu Pacific one, an Airbus House A330 Neo, and they've also announced a Delta Team USA livery. They have announced a Team USA A330 Neo, the Team USA A350, and the LA28 livery A350-900. So those are going to be great releases there. I'll probably have to get the Delta Team USA aircraft in the near future, so that's why I put an asterisk there. But if NG does them before AV400, I'll probably get the NG version. So there you go, because it's going to take them a while to release these. They're going to take a while to release these, as these aircraft have recently been unveiled. So yes, and these are only the highlights from Aviation 400's April set. I did exclude a few models that were kind of a little repetitive there. I just want, in the sake of time in this video as well. So yeah, proceeding on to our next AV400 release, they have announced a Japan A350-1000, which I'm definitely excited to get as well. So that'll be another model I'll probably pre-order. Yes, I did miss out on the NG version. Maybe I'll get the NG version in the future if it's a CRP model, or if I can find a good deal on eBay or something. But yeah. Then Aviation 400 has announced a 787-8 mold, which has kind of gone under the radar a little bit, and they have announced their first set of 787-8 releases. So they'll be doing an ANA 787-8, a Boeing House 787-8, and an Air Tanzania Boeing 787-8. And these are some great releases here. Good choices by AV400. So there you go. And AV400 will also be doing a Boeing House 787-9 and several Cathay Pacific A350-1000, which I may get in the future. So yeah, AV400 is really they're really announcing some bank-breaking releases. And proceeding on to our next release set, next set of releases, which are the Panda models releases under their sub-brand. So I'm just going to divide them up a little bit. We have our sole altitude model this month, which is the Air Canada toothpaste A320-200 release. So this is a good release here, and this is an exclusive to my retailer, which is West Coast Diecast. We'll go over them a little bit more in this video, but this is a pretty solid Canadian release here. I'm definitely excited to get this model. I do have this model on pre-order, so there you go. It's always great to have a toothpaste livery Air Canada model. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a good release there. And then C models, another sub-brand of Panda, have announced several A320s. They announced some British Airways A320s, which have gotten a lot of good reception from my British collectors and European collectors. These are highly requested aircraft, and these are going to be on great molds as well. And the Canada Jetlines A320s, the first ever Canada Jetlines releases in 1.4. These releases are going to be great as well, and I will be pre-ordering the Sharklet version. So these are going to be great international models for my Jacksonville Fictional Airport. So yeah, I may get both of the Canada Jetlines aircraft. We'll have to see. And retailer spotlight here, or retailer shout out, which is for my retailer of West Coast Diecast. So use my code JTPilot for 5% off at their wonderful store. And my picks this month, it's a pretty expensive month for me. So I'll be pre-ordering the Jet. I should say I've already pre-ordered the Jet Blues. I pre-ordered the United 757 Freighters, the Air India A350 Ultimate Collection, and the Altitude Model Air Canada Toothpaste A320. And I will be pre-ordering the C Miles Canada Jetlines A320 very soon. And all of these can be found over at West Coast Diecast. So if you want to make some pre-orders, check out West Coast Diecast. They will be running low on these. I did miss out on a pre-order for them, so don't miss out on models. Pre-order them now. And then some more of my picks. So yes, there's a lot of models I pre-ordered. So I will be pre-ordering. So the United 757 Max 9 Evil Blue livery, the Delta 757 200, and the Aeroclasics Frontiers, which I've already received and reviewed. So there you go. Disregard those, but I just put them in here for the sake of the video. So all these are gonna be great releases. All these are gonna be great releases. Hopefully the models will turn out well. And yes, that's basically it for this section. And we got some new 100 scale photos. These are kind of a little outdated, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to include them. So we have the NG models March 2024 release set photos. So all these models look great. I know the Southwest do have the Dark Heart livery, but yes, I did review those already, as well as the United 747 Max 10. So I reviewed those. Yes, I reviewed those models. So if you're interested, check out my YouTube channel. So all these models are looking great, and I may get the Lufthansa in the near future. And Gemini Jets March 2024 release set photos. These are great. All these models actually turned out pretty well. Gemini Jets has improved their QC a little bit, so they're not really looking too bad. I haven't seen many QC fumbles, so that's great. And my Southwest Nevada 1 has recently arrived, and this model surprisingly turned out fairly decent. So Gemini Jets have been making some minor adjustments to their molds, and that's great to see. Hope to see more of it in the near future. And then here are the new mold announcements. So this is the main this is the largest part of this video, I should say. So the first brand new mold we'll be talking about in today's video, which is the NG 757-300 mold. So yeah, so NGI provides some pictures, and a lot of people have pre-ordered the mold samples for NG's CRP program. I did not though, because I'll be reading the United Eva Blue, so might as well just wait for that model anyway. So, but yeah, so the mold samples are looking great for the the Boeing 757-300. Sorry about all the fumbles today. The Boeing 757-300 is looking great, so that's all I gotta really say. NG 757 mold is the best in the game, so there you go. So yeah, these are looking great. And then NG has announced their Airbus A330neo mold, so they'll be making the A330-800neo and the A330-900neo. So this is going to be the best A330neo mold in the scale, even better than the AV400 one. NG's just going to outdo their competition here. So the A330neo mold's looking flat and amazing. My favorite part so far, just looking at the mold samples, the cockpit windows are looking great, the nose section's looking great, the engines are looking great, the wingtips are looking great, and overall the mold shape is great and much better than some of the other manufacturers out there like Gemini Jets and Phoenix. So yes, so these are gonna be great. These are gonna be great. This is gonna be great mold once NG formally announces some A330 new releases, which I've heard they'll be announcing some in May. So yeah, you'll be seeing that in the next video as well. So yeah, these are going to be great releases. I really want a TAP A330neo to be released, as well as a Condor A330neo would be great, and I would replace my Gemini one, and a Virgin A330neo, and the Delta A330neo in the Team USA livery, and in the normal livery as well. Forgetting one. Yeah, so I'm forgetting one of the 830s I'm forgetting. But yes, yeah. Oh, the Azul 830. I really want the Azul 830 to be released. That's one 830 I really want to be released from Injury because that'd be a perfect model for my fictional airport. And my most highly anticipated mold announcement from NG is the McDonnell Douglas MD80 series. So they'll be doing so far they've announced the early versions of the MD81 and the MD82, as well as the MD83 and the MD88. There's no pictures of the MD87 yet, which is pretty unfortunate. But at least NG are finally rolling out their MD8s, and hopefully this is the start. Hopefully this is the start of MD80 releases coming up in the future. I cannot wait for them. I'll definitely be getting a few of them. I have ordered a sample for the NG McDonald's MD8, so I will be reviewing that on this channel in the coming weeks. So that's really exciting. Can't wait to review it for you guys. So that was a CRP model I picked up, and if you want a sample model from NG, always just stay tuned to their Instagram because they will also be doing a CRP market for the sample mold. So if you want to review a sample mold yourself or do a custom, always just stay tuned to that. So that's a little piece of advice from JT Pilot. And then some other manufacturers have announced new molds. So it's not just NG. So Panda Models has announced their McDonnell Douglas MD11, and NG will be announcing an MD11 soon. I've heard some rumors about that. So they'll probably be doing an MD11 themselves to compete with Panda. But Panda has announced their McDonnell Douglas MD11, and I'm pretty excited for this mold. It looks great, but the MD11 is not really an aircraft I need too much for my collection. I'll probably get a FedEx and UPS release, maybe an American one. But other than that, yes, it's a fine announcement, but it's great to see another mold in the 1/400 scale. So there you go. And this is the first MD11 mold that has been first new MD11 mold since 2003. So let's put that into perspective. It's been a long time since since a new MD11 mold has been made. And the final new mold that we'll be talking about in this video is the U Models Airbus A300. So yes, U Models is a Chinese manufacturer, and they have announced an A300 mold, which is pretty exciting. And here's a sample so far, and photo credit to Yester Airlines down there. So yes, it's looking good. It's looking good. I want to see some finished photos of this mold. So yes, before I make my judgment. So there you go. And hopefully, U Models will release a FedEx A300. They have announced some hints for their releases. They have for their spring releases, which they have not formally announced yet. So just waiting for that. I would have put those in the video, but they have not announced them. So and yes, and U models are really only stocked in China, so it would be kind of hard to get those. But maybe in the future I'll be able to review one for you guys. So there you go. And that's basically it for this video, guys. So sorry about some of my fumbles in this video. Sorry about that. And kind of having a little rush this video, just a little bit. So there's a lot of content we had to get through in this video. It's been a very busy time in the 1/400 scale. So yeah, so overall, April has been a really great month for 1/400, and March was a decent month as well. We're just going to talk about April mainly. There's been a lot of good releases. The main highlights for me, news-wise, is the NG April set was really good. Main highlights for me were the United 757-300 and the JetBlues. Gemini Jets April was great as well. The main highlight, of course, is the United 737 MAX 9. Aviation 400 dropped a great set of releases this week, and yes, I will likely be getting a lot of those in the future once they're formally released. Yes, I probably won't end up getting all the ones I want, but just because H400 malls are a little bit more expensive and I don't really have room for a lot of white buys, but we'll have to see. We might get those in the future at some point. And the new molds are looking great, especially the NG molds are looking great, including the 830 Neo, the MD80, and the 757-300, so I'm eager to get those once they're formally released. And I heard that they'll start being released around May, so for the MD80 at least in the 830 Neo. So the May set's going to be a pretty good set from NG, and that'll definitely be in the next news video. And then the Panda MD11 is looking great as well, and the U Miles A400 is looking fairly decent so far from what I've seen. So that's it for this video. Tell me in the comments below what are your thoughts about this video. And yes, so please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's get to 2,000 subscribers at the end of this year. And I'd like to thank y'all so much for the support on my last few videos, and follow my Instagram account if you want to see some outdoor photos for these wonderful 1/400 models and and some and some early 100 news as well. So that's it for this video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Bye.